Okay, good morning. Hello, everyone. My name is Francia, and today's class is our yoga drills class. So I need to spend a little bit of time before class, but we are going to be using a wall in this class today. We're also going to be using our blocks. So we're going to work a little bit on some back strengthening, some shoulders, and core strengthening as well. And then we're going to try doing some stuff for the hips. So let's start in a comfortable seated position. I'm going to do a half lotus today just because my hips are feeling nice and open and it feels good for me. But you can do a regular cross-legged, a full lotus if that feels right for you, or just sit in whatever way it's comfortable for you. Let the hands rest on the lap or on the knees. Soften the shoulders, soften your gaze. Connect with your sits bones, your tailbone. Connect with the parts of your legs making contact with the floor. Feel as the breath draws in the expansion and the lengthening of the torso, the rib cage opening up, the spine just like a pillar climbing out of your pelvis, reaching the top of the head towards the sky. Settle here for a few more breaths, calming the mind, the nervous system, preparing for our practice today. Deep inhale, slow, gentle exhale. And with the next exhale breath, we'll bring the chin down towards the chest, lengthening the back of the neck. Maybe a little movement of the head side to side. Releasing tension or tightness in the neck or the shoulders. Feel free to move a little bit more if that feels good. Starting to blink the eyes open, awareness back into our space. And then inhale, lift the chin. Roll the shoulders up, back and down. Inhale again, extend the arms, find your shoulders. So we're going to move a little bit here, a little different than what we normally do. Imagine somebody's reaching or somebody's pulling your arms and you're reaching out in opposite direction. So notice how that space moves into your shoulders. And then see if you can bring the shoulder blades towards each other behind your back. It's very tiny movement, maybe not even noticeable in the camera. But you want to feel like extension away and then drawing in like the shoulder blades towards each other and the shoulders into their sockets. So reach out, draw in, reach out, draw in. And you can go slow or you can go quickly like I'm doing. I'm just kind of moving from one to the other. Reaching out and drawing in, one more. And then extend and reach, turn the palms, inhale, lengthen up towards the sky, palms towards each other, elbows towards each other, exhale, hands to heart. Okay, good job, shake out those shoulders. Let's move another movement into the neck, so turn the head to the side. Use that same hand to give a little weight or pressure to lengthen through that side of the neck. If you want to press the other hand down into the floor, sometimes that can create a little bit extra pull, feeling a little better, or if not, don't do it. And then maybe taking the chin down, getting a different part of the neck. And slowly back to center. And gently release. Good. Same thing on the other side. Turn the head to the other side, using that same arm to add a little bit of weight. You can keep the hand on your knee or lap, or you can press the hand down. A little bit of movement if that feels right. Chin towards the left armpit. Change the position a bit. And then back to center. And slowly release. Move a little bit through the neck and head, relax the shoulders, soften the ear. And then now we're going to do the same or similar movement with the arms as we did before. Extend them out to the side and then bend the elbows. So right now the elbows are out, kind of like our goddess pose arms, right? Or cactus arms. We're going to flip the palms, almost like you want the palms of the hands facing the ceiling. And then we're going to bring the elbows in towards each other so that the forearms are parallel to each other. Now, I'm going to turn here to the side so you guys can see a bit better. But in this position, right, instead of having them here, we're going to have them here a little bit higher and then lower them down so that they're right in front, parallel. And then we're gonna move the shoulder blades back into the shoulder girdle and then push the shoulder blade forward. So you keep the hands, palms pressing, palms up towards the ceiling, shoulder blades back, shoulder blades forward. So these are micro movements that help us to really engage specific parts of our bodies as we're moving. Keep those forearms in front of each other, right? So instead of having them up, elbows down, two lines of the forearms right in front of you. You can see them with your eyes, back and forward. Start to feel how that fires up, especially when you have your hands pointing towards you. Back and then extend forward. One more time. Back and extend forward. Release the hands, give them a little shake, and release, shake them down. Good job. Okay. From here, we're going to switch the direction of our feet. So whatever foot you have in front or on top, make sure you switch so you can even out both sides. And then come back to center. All right. Let's move into some twisting and some side bending. So reaching out to the side, one arm extends up high. So I'm taking my right arm down, left arm up. Reach, reach, reach to that left arm, and then softly bend through the elbow to go a little deeper. Take that full extension. So what does this remind you of, right? This is similar to our second Trikonasana that we do, our Parsvottanasana, where we really extend out of the body. Now take the chin towards the arm and look up towards the fingertips. Bring the fingertips together with the thumb. Reach, 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 and extend. Try not to dump all of your weight on the bottom arm. Keep the chest lifted. And then inhale, come back to center. Good. Find release here. Take a moment. And then we go ahead for the other side. So reach the arm. Reach up towards the ceiling. I was getting ahead of myself. Find that length in the torso. Maybe softening into that bottom elbow so that you can place down. And then take it up and over. Notice the same idea as when we do Parsvottanasana, really extending out of the waist. Then take the gaze towards the arm and up towards the fingertips. If this bothers your neck, you can just keep your gaze down. Try to bring less weight to your left hand, your supportive hand and arm, and more weight to your rib cage. Ground the right knee and thigh down towards the earth to create balance. Inhale, slowly release. Come back to center. Good job. Take a moment, shake it out. All right. Whatever position you have your feet in, let's go ahead and change them to a butterfly position or Baddha Konasana. So taking a moment here, the feet don't have to be all right up to your body. You can have almost like a diamond shape when you look down. And just hold on to the feet. Flap your wings a little bit here for a moment. One of them may be a little higher than the other, so feel free to kind of flap one and then the other to kind of even out both sides. If you do need some kind of support here underneath the thigh, a block or a pillow will be well suited there. Now, right now the soles of the feet are touching. We're going to slide the thumbs inside the soles of the feet, wrap the fingers around, and open the feet up like the pages of a book. Now, for now, let's keep the arms straight, the chest lifted, shoulders back. And then as we exhale, we bend into the fold. So the elbows draw towards the waist. Stay there for 5 breaths. 1. Find yourself connected. 2. 3. The belly's drawn in and we find length in the torso. 4. Shoulders back and down. 5. Inhale, straighten the arms. Release the feet and let's flap again. So releasing those hips. Good. This is a drill that was prescribed to me by my teacher because I have very, very tight hips and they don't like to move too much, especially my left one. It's like, All right, we're going to do that again. So we'll stop the flapping, thumbs inside, fingers on the outside, open up these feet like the pages of a book. Keep the inside, the pinky edge side of the feet touching, but let the big toe side separate. And then exhale, bend forward. Stay here. 1. Belly's in. 2. Settle in. You might be able to go a little further down than I am. Ideally, one day, the chin to the floor. 3. Try not to round your back. Keep your chest lifted, chin forward. 4. Good job. 5. Inhale, come back up. Release the feet. And we're going to flap and do it one more time. So just let the flapping kind of be more of like a, okay, It's all right, hips. You're having a conversation with your body. All right, a little bit more until you kind of just feel like it's second nature. And we'll do it one last time. So we'll release the flapping, let the knees way down towards the floor, thumbs inside the feet, open up those feet like the pages of a book, make little adjustments, and exhale, bend forward. See if you can go a little deeper, shoulders back, chest lifted, chin up, 1. Good. Move your shoulders back, Bindi. 2. Don't come forward. Back. 3. Good job. That's it. Flatten out your back. 4. See if there's any room to go a little deeper. See what happens. 5. Inhale. Come back out. Exhale. Release the feet. Hands on the outside. Slowly bring them in for a moment. Give yourself a nice hug. Forehead to the knee. Round the back. Let it go. One more breath. Inhale, slowly lift the head. All right, so we're gonna take this right leg back. So we're making this kind of, I always forget this shape. Oh, lightning bolt, that's what it is. Like a lightning bolt, right? So your front foot is not all the way into the body, it's slightly forward, foot flex. Same with the right foot, not all the way back into your butt, but slightly out. Not necessarily 90 degrees with the legs, maybe a little bit less, but you want to make sure that that right hip isn't way up off the floor. Try to keep it down. Steady your torso, find length in your spine, and you want to imagine this left leg grounding down towards the earth. Do not use your arm, use your leg. Use your leg, use your hip flexor muscles, connect there. So press both knees down, 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 lift the chest, torso in the middle, try not to lean. And exhale, let's take an easy twist. Right hand to the left hand to the right knee, and right hand moves behind you. Still pressing this left knee down towards the floor. Rotate the torso. Steady your breathing. And exhale, slowly coming back to center. Now we go the other way. Right hand to left knee. This way should feel a lot more accessible as you rotate. Keep pressing that right hip down. So a little bit of a tuck under through the tailbone as you lift and twist. And then exhale, slowly line yourself up with your left leg. And let's see if you can take a little bit of a forward fold here. So we're folding over to the left. Elbows can come down. The right hip will lift slightly, but try to keep it grounded. So moving the right hip away toward top of the head forward, belly's drawn in, steadying the breath. Slow, easy inhale, gentle exhale. Good, and inhale, press into the arms. Lift the chest, walk the hands in, lift the chest once more, and exhale, make your way back to center. One more time, try to find a straight back. This time, inhale, lift the arms, press the left knee down, press the right hip down, reach up and extend to the sky, exhale, arms down. Good. Release the legs, so we're gonna switch. Take the right leg forward, left leg back, and take a moment here to adjust. So again, not necessarily 90 degrees, but also not tucking that foot in. So just slightly open with the back foot. Both feet are flexed, hands on either side, and then try to find your center. So this left hip needs to roll back and under. You can feel the stretch moving and happening through that left hip. The right knee, if it's up high like this, try to press it down towards the floor. Lengthen through your torso, stabilize the body, steady the breath. Sometimes if we try too hard, we can develop a little bit of a cramp over on the waist or on the left side of the hip. So if you feel like you need to lean a little bit, that's okay. Steady, steady. Belly's drawn in. Easy breathing. We're gonna go for our first twist here. So right hand to left knee, left hand comes around. Find your rotation, keep pressing down through the right knee. Keep the feet nice and flexed. Gearing up for our practice today, starting with opening up these hips and shoulders. And then exhale, release. Other side. Same as before, you want to kind of keep that under rotation of the hip, rounded and rooted as you find your lift and as you find your twist. Steadying the breath, coming into your own, finding what fits and what works well for you. And then exhale, coming back to the center. We're going to line ourselves up over that right knee, restabilize, readjust that left hip. And then as you're ready, taking the fold over that right leg, keeping the left hip down and back, reach and extend and settle in. So the twist is still happening here, it's just in a different position. Keep pushing away with that left hip, reaching up and forward with the top of the head. And then inhale slowly, press into the arms, lift the chest, walk the hands in, lift the chest one more time. And then exhale, make your way back to center. This time, inhale, arms up. Find straightness in your torso. Try not to lean. Reach to the fingertips. Lengthen, lengthen. Exhale, hands to heart. Beautiful. All right, releasing the legs, one first, then the other. Coming back to this kind of curling in, rounding the back, forehead to the knee. Let it all go. One more breath. Exhale. Good. Inhale, lift the head, release the arms, and now we're going to go for some down puppies. So make your way to tabletop. We're going to start without any blocks, just with our mats. So make sure that your knees are about hip width or slightly inside of hip width apart. So not much wider than hip width. You can have them together if you wish. Then we're going to slide the arms forward and push the tailbone back. Continue to move in that direction. You can lower the elbows first for a moment to kind of feel that length in your torso, moving the chest towards the thighs, letting the forehead or the top of the head rest, and then straightening the arms. So this is the first version of our down puppy. Should be accessible to most people. If you find it's not accessible to you, you can place a block where your head would go so that you can rest your head there, and that might feel a little bit easier on the shoulders. Let's stay there just a few more breaths. If it feels like it's too easy or you need a little bit more challenge, you can lift your chin and bring your chin to the floor instead. So your choice. I'm going to keep my forehead down. That feels pretty good. I'm getting all the stretch I need, and I don't feel like I need to force myself to move any deeper than where I am. So assess for yourself. Figure out what fits best for you. And steady as always, steady your breath. Next inhale breath, slowly press the elbows down, lift the head. Coming to the forearms for a moment, just take a little bit of a release here. Tuck the tailbone under, sit all the way back to the heels. Forehead can come down, relax the arms and shoulders here. So no extending of the arms, let the elbows rest, let the shoulders separate, let the back soften, let all of that go. For the second drill, we are going to use the block. So inhale, lift the head, grab a block, and we're going to place it in front. You can do one block or two blocks. For me, I find that one is fine, but if you need your arms a little farther apart, maybe two blocks are better. And then I just put my thumbs fully in the palms and the part of my thumbs, and the rest of my fingers on the outside of the block. Now, as you breathe, you might need to slide that block forward, tailbone back. You do the exact same posture, except this time, your forehead may not come to the floor. It may stay floating. Either way, it's fine. Keep sliding that block forward until you feel the stretch. Tops of the feet stay down on the mat. Belly's drawn in, tailbone moves back. Keep moving the block forward or back as you need to. Adjust as you need to. Stay here. Relax the shoulder blades away from each other and away from the ear. Belly's drawn in deeply. One more breath. All right, to come out of this posture, we're going to softly bend the elbows, let the hands come off the block, elbows down to the mat. Inhale, lift the head. And exhale, roll your tailbone all the way back to your balasana, and then let the shoulders relax. If it's more comfortable for you, you can bring the hands back towards your feet. Just let the elbows hang heavy. Good. Inhale, slowly rolling up. Okay, beautiful job. So just take a moment to notice how that opened up into the shoulders. Now we're gonna kind of reverse it a little bit and move into the core and into the lower back. So let's slide ourselves forward, and we're gonna start with simple bridges. So these are the ones that you are now doing, Mindy, in your Ashtanga practice. And Ruth soon will be moving into these once she's ready, which is very, very soon, I think. She's making great progress. But for those of you watching the video, if I'm not observing your progress, just be very kind and gentle with these. We're going to start with simple bridge on the floor. Feet are down on the mat, hands are down towards the heels. Maybe you can even grab your heels. Tuck in through the tailbone, so create a curl, pubic bone to rib cage. Draw everything in here, and then slowly press into the legs. Come into a gentle bridge. You don't have to go to the highest version of bridge just yet. We're just assessing the hip flexors, the quads, the thighs, the lower back, the glutes, all of the muscles that need to engage in order for us to lift. And then exhale, slowly lower down, release the tailbone. Good, let's do that again. Inhale, curl and up. Start to feel some weight into the shoulders, moving into the space of the heels, drawing the energy back a little bit so your knees are not shooting forward, but instead moving back in space towards your head. And then exhale and release. Uncurl the tailbone. Good. Last one, just like that. Inhale, tuck under, lift up, press back. Maybe with this one, you can wriggle the shoulders under a little bit more, press the palms down into the floor, press the feet deeply into the floor, squeeze the legs so that you're really finding lift and extension, and exhale, let it down. Good. Once it's down, hug the knees in, little hug side to side, little curl. All right, the next version of this, we're gonna do up against the wall before we use the blocks. So if you have a wall nearby, just slide your mat near it. So normally we bring our butt really close to the wall. We're going to stay a little further apart. We're going to see how this fits. So when you place your feet on the wall, you kind of want that 90-degree angle happening here. Don't want the feet too far apart, about hip width apart, legs are parallel, knees are right over the hips. So you don't want to be too close where your knees are shooting back towards your chest. And you also don't want to be too far where your knees are way forward and your hips are out of line. So you want to find that happy medium here where your feet are going to be planted and your knees are going to be stacked. Now, palms down, press the feet into the surface you're on, your wall ideally, and then tuck the tailbone under just like before. Inhale, lift the hips up. So we come into a little bit of a shoulder stand. Now, if you have room here, wiggle under. You can adjust your feet if you need to, maybe come a little higher or place them on top of the surface, and then hold there. Try to find one line from shoulders to knees. 1, steady your breath. 2, 3, 4, more weight in your shoulders, press into your legs. 5, exhale, slowly lower everything down. And take a moment here just to be with it. You can move the knee side to side or just stay still. Okay, so we're gonna do that 2 more times. This time, we're gonna elevate one leg. All right, so here we go. Tuck the tailbone under. Inhale. Lift up until you feel it in your shoulders, not your neck, in your shoulders. Make adjustments. Adjust the feet, adjust the shoulders, find yourself stable, find that line, and then press the left leg into the wall as the right leg comes up. Hold. 1, steady, steady. 2, hips up, strong left leg. 3, point the right toe straight up, not behind you. 4, and 5. Lower the right leg down, keep the hips lifted for another 5 breaths. 1, 2, squeeze the legs, press into your surface, into your wall. 3, 4, almost there, steady breathing, chin tucks the chest, look towards the belly button. 5, exhale, slowly lower yourself down and let it go. If you want to bring the knees into the chest, if that feels good, whatever you need to here. Now, you should not be feeling this movement in the neck. Yes, there is a stretch happening in the neck, but it's really no different than when we tuck the chin to the chest. There's a stretch happening there, but you don't want to feel pressure in the neck. So a little bit of space between the jaw or the chin and the chest is going to be very helpful here. Let's do the last one. Arms down by the side. Start to engage the tailbone. Tuck it under. Inhale. Press it up. Wriggle under with your shoulders. Find your lift. Adjust your feet. I always have to walk them up just a little bit more. Find the length here. And then slowly press the right foot into the wall. And lift the left leg straight up towards the ceiling. 1. Steady, calm breathing. 2. 3, feel this in your shoulders. Shoulders taking all of the weight here. 4, so this is a good introduction to shoulder stand. 5, exhale, lower that left leg down and let's stay up. 5 more breaths. 1, keep pressing up. Little bit of space between the chin and the chest. Give the neck a break. 2, 3, squeeze the glutes and legs. Push the wall. 4, and 5, exhale, slowly lower yourself down, uncurl. You can just lay here, or again, you can bring the knees into the chest, rock it, and roll it side to side. Easy and steady. Since we have the wall here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna scoot a little closer to it. So I just kind of like scoot down. And so now your butt should be up against that surface. So for you, Mindy, that's going to be your basket. Now my legs can strain because I have a wall that's straight. Your legs may be bent, curved over the bed or whatever it is. So that's okay. This is just for us to relax and to let all of that go. So arms down, soften the legs, relax the shoulders. You can also do this out in the middle of the room without a wall, but it's definitely nicer when you have something to rest your legs on. Maybe close your eyes. Observe the movement of breath, let it slow down. One more deep breath here, just calming the nervous system. Before we come out of this entirely, we're going to bend the right knee. And we're going to bring it on top of that left thigh, open that knee to the side. And we're going to use our hand to guide that knee towards the wall, very gently here. Make sure the left hip is down, so don't pop that left hip up, keep it grounded. One left hand on your right ankle, right hand on the inside of your right knee, and then just gently start to push away. Might be able to straighten your arms, or you might need to keep them bent. No worries. And then exhale, let's draw that whole leg in towards the body. Just hug it in. The whole shin, everything just draws in one piece towards the torso. Keep the tailbone grounded. Exhale, slowly release. Extend the right leg. We'll do the same thing on the other side. Bend the left knee, left foot up on top of the right thigh. Right hand at the ankle, left hand on the inside of the knee, and push that leg away. Be very kind and very gentle here with your body. So when I say push, you're applying gentle pressure. You're not forcing or, making that knee go anywhere that it doesn't want to or can't at this time. You're just applying enough gentle pressure to feel the stretch. If you start to cramp up or if anything starts to go wrong, just release. Try again. And then exhale, we're going to release, and we're going to draw that whole leg into the body. This side may not go quite as far. For me, it's a tiny little movement, but maybe for you, you can bring it all the way to your chest. See what you can do. Keep that right leg, right hip down and grounded. It likes to lift. And exhale, slowly release. Left leg up, and then we'll find our legs up the wall one more time. Soften the shoulders, steady the breath. All right, we're going to open up the knees to the side, soles of the feet come together, and we're going to take our Baddha Konasana on the wall. So just the same way that we did when we were seated, take the soles of the feet together, knees flap out to the sides, and you can kind of wiggle them a little bit to get a nice feeling into the hips. And once that's done, just go to where your body needs to be. If you like, you can add that same gentle pressure to the knees to push them towards the wall. But here, be very, very careful because we are working with ligaments and tendons and inner thigh muscles, and we don't want to go too far. So a gentle pressure is good. When you feel like it's too much, back off. Settle the breath and settle the shoulders. In these types of positions, it's very easy for us to tense up through the shoulders. So make a conscious effort here to relax the shoulders. Using your arm strength to give gentle pressure to the inside of the knees, or you can just let the arms be down on the floor, no pressure at all. Just let gravity do its thing. And slowly exhale, grab the outsides of the knees, start to make your knees come in towards each other. And one more time, extend the legs. Find your legs up the wall, release the arms. And just take a moment while you're doing this to notice and to observe the workings of the hips. Just take a couple of breaths here to really pay attention to how each of these beautifully, incredibly coordinated parts move together in order to create this dance of yoga, of life, of walking, of living, of existing. Couple more breaths. And slowly exhale. Start to blink the eyes open, softly bend the knees. Roll over to the side here for a moment, extend the bottom arm. And let's just take a moment here on the side. Just be here for a quick second, just to reground. Exhale, slowly press up. And we're going to make our way back to the center of our mat so we can move away from the wall if you're too close. Okay. Now that we've incorporated these hips, let's put all of that together in opening the fronts of the hip flexors and the lower back. So we're going to use one block, lay all the way onto your back, plant the feet on the floor. Remember, your block has levels, right? So the flattest level, the second level, and the highest. We're going to work our way up here. So let's start with the flattest level. Lift the hips just enough to slide the block so that it's placed at the area of the sacrum. Make sure it's not down by your butt, and make sure it's not up into your back and into your waist. So right at the sacrum, that kind of bony protrusion, and you can kind of wiggle around to make sure that you found it. And once you're there, we're going to release the arms, palms facing up, release one leg, and notice how that feels. If that's too much, just keep the other one bent. But if it feels okay, try both legs. So whether you have one leg or both legs is going to be entirely up to you. Right now, I'm flexing my feet to get myself situated. But once I'm relaxed, then I can let go of the flexing of the feet, and I can start to feel this here. And then lastly, if you wish, you can extend your arms up overhead, letting the rib cage open, letting the shoulders relax. And we're going to start with the feet apart, hands apart. We're going to work our way to bringing them together. So let's just be here for a few more breaths. And then with the exhale, we're going to bring the knees or the feet in so that the legs are actually pressing against each other, touching, even the big toes. And then same thing with the arms, the thumbs are touching, you can interlace the thumbs. And again, try to reach through the tops of your feet to your toes, or if you'd like, you can flex the feet as long as you keep your feet together. So a little bit of different here, a little bit more intensity, still feeling this openness in the front body, in the front of the legs, the hip flexors, the rib cage, but you're creating an arch in the spine as well, so it's also a back bend. And with the next exhale, we'll release the arms first, bend one knee to bring it back up, bend the other, realign and restate yourself back in the center, reorganize all of the moving parts. And if that felt okay, and you want to try moving the block a little higher, come to the toes, inhale, lift the hips, and then just change the position of the block so that it's a little bit higher. And then from there, we can let the rib cage rest, and then bring the soles of the feet back down. So before we even try extending the legs, notice here if this is enough for you. Try not to have any weight on your legs here. Use the block to support you. So we want to just feel like, okay, yeah, this is accessible, this is doable. I'm going to go ahead and straighten. So again, we're going to try one leg, flexing through the first. I always start with the flex first. The other side. See if that happens, how that feels. The feet are apart right now. Point through the toes once you're there. And then see if you can find that opening in the front of the hip flexors. And then the arms come up to add the back bend and the lifting of the chest. So as before, the body was coming towards the chin. Right now, you're thinking about rib cage up and back. So there's this openness that happens here. You can wriggle the shoulders under. Now, with the block a little bit higher, it's harder to bring the feet together, but try anyway to bring those feet together. Press through the toes, lift the heart and rib cage, stay here and breathe. Even if the toes don't actually touch, just engage the inner thighs, squeeze through the legs to let the legs stay parallel to each other as close as possible. One more breath. And then slowly exhale, bend one knee, plant the foot on the floor, bend the other knee, relax the neck and shoulders, bring the arms down by your sides, be here for another breath or two. The last one is lifting the block to the highest position. So again, if this was hard enough, you're going to stay here. If you wanted to give it a shot, come to the toes, inhale, lift up through the hips, change your block position to the highest level, again, placing it at the sacrum. Once the block is in place, you can relax the feet down. Good. And then from here, arms can come down. Now in this one, we're not going to extend the legs like we have in the previous two. But we don't want to put any weight in the legs. So you don't want to feel like you're pressing the feet into the floor. Instead, find all the opening that's happening here, right from the thighs to the chest. Everything's kind of widening itself. And as you do that, settle in. Relax the glutes, relax the neck and shoulders. Breathing easy. One more breath, inhale. Exhale. And then to come out of this, we're going to tuck the toes under once more. We're going to elevate through the hips just enough to remove the block. And then slowly start to curl ourselves down. This could feel a little bit funky on the way down, so take your time. Once the sacrum is down, bring the knees into the chest, and we'll kind of reverse all of that by finding a little bit of a happy baby or just gentle rocking side to side. If you do want a happy baby, remember that's the one where you grab the pinky toe sides of the feet, you lift the heels, and you can still add that rock. It's going to feel a little bit more intense. And that was a lot of back bending, so make sure that you are pleasant with yourself and don't force anything your body's not ready to do. Be wherever you need to be here, just in that legs curled in or the happy baby that I'm doing for just a couple more breaths. And then exhale back to center. Release the heels. Relax the arms. And bring the feet back down. Beautiful work. All right. So we're going to take the legs, extend them out. Let's take a nice, long, full body stretch. And exhale, release. Okay, so we're going to rock and roll up to a seated position. Cross the ankles. Hold on to the backs of the legs. And roll yourself up. Roll yourself back. Just up and back a couple of times, rounding through the back, tucking the chin in. But don't go back with a flat back. Round, round, round. Roll back. Roll up. You're holding onto your legs slightly here so you can find that roll. This is going to release the back muscles. It's really good for kind of just letting all of the tension out after back bending. And then this last one, let's roll all the way up. Cross the feet underneath, hands in front. Let me scoot back here. Hands in front. Inhale, lift yourself up, just like we do at the last posture of our Ashtanga practice. Hold 1. Belly's drawn in. 2. Steady breathing. 3. Nice engaged shoulder. The tops of the feet are on the floor, not the bottoms. 5. Exhale, lower down. Extend the legs. Flex the feet. Let's take Dandasana position. So finding our Dandasana. Nice straight back. Hollowing out the lower belly. Inner thighs drawing in towards each other. Palms are right next to your hips. Not too far back. Not too far forward. Right next to the hips. Shoulders go back, lifting the chest. One more breath. And then exhale, let's take a fold. So you can grab your big toes, just like we do in our regular Ashtanga practice. Or you can grab your ankles, whatever you can reach for. Lengthen the torso here. So start to create that space, moving away from back bending into forward bending. So finding lift in the rib cage. And then now letting yourself fold forward, elbows towards the ground. And rest your face on your shin or let your head hang. Try to relax the back muscles. Because you're going to feel a deep stretch in the back of the legs. One more breath here. See if you can really relax those back muscles. And slowly inhale. Lift the head, shoulders go back. Find length in your torso. Exhale there and release. Good. All right. Twisting now. So then you complete the whole full circle here. Bending the right knee. Taking the left hand to the right knee so you can kind of hug that knee in towards yourself. or you can take the elbow on the outside of the knee. It's up to you which way you do it. I'll stay here. This feels good for me. Right hand behind you. Lift the chest, lift the torso. Hug that right knee in towards the left side of your rib cage because you're twisting. So the right side is pointing back. Push into that right hand. Use it like a second spine. You can even slide it a little closer to your body as the right shoulder rotates back. And exhale, slowly release. Before we do the other side, we're going to take that left hand to the floor. Reach the right arm forward to find your left foot. So once you connect with your right foot, let's go for a little bind to release the shoulders. Take that right hand, thumb facing down. We're going to reach it around the right leg towards the right hip. Once the right hand is on the right hip, take the left hand, reach it around, and see if you can connect your fingers or your hands or your wrist, whatever you can find here. Inhale, lengthen the torso, line yourself up with the left foot, and then exhale, take a fold. Hold here, 1, 2, so again, we're still working on releasing all those back muscles we worked on. 3, 4, 5. Inhale, head up. Exhale, release your bind, release the right arm, come to center, and release the right foot. Good. Take Dandasana one more time before we do the other side. And exhale, bending the left knee now. You can hug that right knee, or you can kind of lean back and then take that outside of the right elbow against the outside of the left knee. So again, I feel pretty good right here, so that's where I'm going to stay. You choose for yourself. Left hand down, close to the spine. Lift up out of your torso and chest. So no rounding as you twist. Extend, and then take your twist. Looking back over left shoulder. Let it be a full, complete twist by adding the gaze. Far to the left. The right leg, your extended leg, is nice and rooted. Calm and steady breath. And then exhale. We slowly release the gaze, release that back arm, release the front arm. And then we're going to make sure there's a little bit of space there between left foot and right thigh. Take that left hand forward, find your right foot. Keep your right hand there to keep you balanced. Lengthen and extend forward. And then now we're going to add the bind. So just as before, turn the left thumb down. Bring that left arm around and then let the elbow bend as you reach the back of the left hand to the hip. Once that hand is there, then now the right hand can come around and you can connect with your fingertips or find your wrist, whatever you can find here. The left shoulder has internal rotation, right shoulder external rotation. And then as we exhale, we fold over right leg. Drawing in through the belly, releasing the body, finding the right knee. 2, steady breath. 3, keep lengthening through torso. 4. And 5, inhale, slowly come up, lift the chest, keep the bind one more moment. Exhale, release the bind. Release the left leg and take Dandasana one more time. Just to elevate the rib cage, to release all of that. And then exhale slowly. We're going to lay all the way back down onto the mat. Grab your blocks, place them one on either side. All the way down. Bring the feet back into that Baddha Konasana shape. So we did it seated, we did it against the wall. Now we're going to do it lying down. Soles of the feet together, slide the blocks underneath the thighs or knees to help support the weight. So you can have the feet further apart or closer into your body, it's up to you. Your blocks can also be higher so that they give you even more support. That feels pretty good right there, actually. So play around with what feels good for you, what your body needs. Maybe give yourself a gentle massage if there's tightness in the inner thighs or in the hips. Sometimes a little bit of touch, a little bit of pressure in those areas helps your body relax, even into the legs, the quads, the glutes, wherever your body's feeling tension. Give yourself a little bit of a massage there. And then once you feel stable, you can either readjust the blocks to come to a deeper movement or deeper position, or just stay where you were. And then we can let the hands rest at the belly or down by your sides or wherever they feel comfortable. As we hold this Baddha Konasana, be sure not to create an artificial arch in the spine. So there's this gentle tuck under through the tailbone, and you want to imagine your lower back pressing down towards the floor. So don't elevate through the chest, but instead ground down. Lengthen through the back of the neck, close the eyes for a moment, and settle the breath. Once we start to find a little bit more relaxation, we make a conscious effort to release the tension and the tightness in the muscles that are drawing those legs in. So we want to feel them kind of release out. If you feel like there's wiggle room for your body, you can slide the blocks further away to give yourself a little bit more weight, gravity pulling those knees down. We'll be here just a few more breaths. Again, ground down, tuck in through the tailbone, pressing the rib cage towards the floor and lengthening the back of the neck. And with the next exhale breath, we'll start by simply blinking the eyes open, moving the head side to side here to release the neck, and then bringing the hands to the outside of the knees. Use your arms to help guide your knees back, because we've been here for a while and those muscles are nice and stretched and open, so we don't want to compress them too quickly. Once the knees are back, you can move the blocks off to the side, and we're going to take our Shavasana. If you want, one of the things that really helped me when I started working with back bending was taking my Shavasana with a bolster underneath the knees. This way, the lower back can kind of feel released, especially after all of that work. This might be helpful. If you don't have a bolster, a big pillow, or maybe the blocks stacked up side by side, just something to help kind of support the bent knee situation so your back can feel relaxed. And we'll take our Shavasana, being embedded in our breath, bringing in vibration of gratitude here at the end of our practice. Slowly, gently bring awareness back to our breath, back to the room we are in. And slowly and gently, we'll start to add movement to the fingers and toes. Once you feel your hands, feet, and wrists have all kind of awoken, pulse. And you can either go to a full body stretch here. If you have the bolster, just press the thighs down against it, let the feet lift. And then exhale, release. Good. All right, let's roll over onto our side for a moment. Take a second here just to again restabilize the body. And inhale, slowly pressing up, coming back to seated. Good work today, you guys. So as we make our way to a comfortable seated position, just want to remind you that these yoga drills that we are practicing are to help build body awareness as we move into our regular yoga, vinyasa or ashtanga practice, whatever it is. So then when we need to incorporate a plugging in of the shoulders, now we know what that feels like. As we need to incorporate a lifting of the pelvis, now we know the muscles that need to engage to lift that. So this is why we use these classes to help benefit our regular practice. So take a moment to find yourself rooted and grounded, and we'll bring our hands to prayer. We'll soften the gaze or close the eyes. And just again, moving assessment through the body, seeing how everything feels. And we'll seal our practice, the benefits of our practice, with one sound Om. Inhale to begin. Thank you so much for joining me today. Namaste.